Live from Cool Boys Central.
You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
Hold your dicks and rub your tits.
You'll be ice cold.
Here come the Cool Boys.
Just a young boy.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
I see cool boys.
So what's everyone drinking?
I'm drinking red wine.
Me too. And for those that don't know, tonight is the bottle challenge. Whoever finishes the bottle first gets to lick Felk's asshole.
Wait, I thought Felk gets to lick our assholes. I don't think it's when to lick his asshole.
Oh, okay, yeah, he gets to lick our asshole.
But he's very talented. He can show us finally what it's like.
I know, butt stuff.
I am good at it, but I wouldn't do it to you just for... I don't get anything out of it.
All right, well then I guess we'd have to bring up some kind of girl to like tongue your asshole while you're tonguing our assholes as a trophy.
I mean, then maybe I guess I consider it. Depending on the girl.
Well, get ready to start tonguing my asshole, big guy, because I'm going to beat Noli.
And Felk, what are you drinking?
I am drinking King Cobra malt liquor. Eventually, I haven't opened it yet, and I might not.
24 ounce? Is that a 24 ounce?
It's actually 25 fluid ounces. They got an extra
25 fluid ounces, Felk. You have to crack that open. I got to hear it.
That extra ounce is important.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Dude, what if you came and it sounded like that? Like every time you like nutted all over, like, you know, some chick, you're just like.
That's really unpleasant. That's a really unpleasant taste.
Actually, a good show topic would be discussing male porn stars weird, or discussing in general males' weird coming noises. Because everyone's got a weird noise.
Oh my god, my favorite coming noise I ever heard was, I forget the guy, the actor, but it was dropping low.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he said while he was coming.
It's definitely an interesting topic. I don't know if there's enough to necessitate 35 minutes of discussion, but there's
what if we did a show topic one time that was like a multitude of show topics?
That would, yeah. So yeah, the rapid fire topics.
Yeah. And it's like each one of us brings one.
Manuel Ferrara does like a
wait, I don't like that. No, I don't want to know.
I don't like that either.
Some of those European guys do some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was a European guy that did the drop and loads too.
My favorite right now is Brian Gosling's though.
He makes noises?
You actually watch Brian Gosling videos?
You have to. He gets the best girls.
I don't think I know who this guy is.
He looks
I've
just
never
like...
seen this guy in a porn ever. Honestly, like the only people I probably recognize would be like Eric Everhard, Johnny Castle, Johnny Sins, and then like Manuel Ferrara. Those are like probably the only four I actually would probably recognize.
And Evan Stone.
And Evan Stone, of course. Yeah.
He doesn't really. He's pretty quiet actually.
And Jules Jordan and what's the other guy? It's the Peter North.
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah. Yep. No, Tommy. Wait, maybe I would know Tommy Gunn because it sounds.
I don't know. I don't know what any of those guys sound like. I just.
Tommy Gunn. Okay, that's his name. I know that guy.
Yeah. Peter North's very active. Every shot's like oh my god.
Peter North has like inhuman cum shots. That's what he's known for, is the fact that he can just cover a girl's face. It's really impressive.
Do you guys realize that we went from our drinks into cum shots and we haven't even said the greetings yet?
Greetings, Cool Boys Nation, and welcome to another installment of the Cool Boys Podcast. I'm Felk.
And I'm Ballard.
And I'm Nolan.
You didn't read the
Yeah, I always have an forget my I don't know why I have an but
and I have to say so cool. I forget that. That's right. That's my so cool.
Yeah. And so before we get into tonight's show topic, which I just want to let listeners know at home is going to be very provocative, very controversial. I just want everyone to know that I haven't read anything you've posted. I'm not prepared for what Felk's going to say tonight, because tonight is a Felk show, and I'm just going to go along with the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great, Noe. I like that you said a Felk show.
Yeah, so disclaimer, whatever he says does not reflect my views, but we'll see what I say.
Yeah, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. For listeners, I guess, you'll have to pick up on this, but yeah, we've already had a couple Felk shows, and we've had a couple Noli shows, and we've had a couple Ballard shows, and you can discern for yourselves what's a Ballard show, what's a Felk show, what's a Noli show. I'm sure it's very obvious which ones are Felk shows, or at least a good chunk of them are.
Yeah, but is it anymore? Because I feel like Nolan and Felk shows are now blending. They're becoming these very gay, powerful, masculine episodes.
Yeah, I think that's probably more accurate, because I think you
Emphasis
guys
on the
tend to
powerful
like
and
definitely
masculine.
like
Yeah.
combine your you guys play well in the sandbox is what it is.
I think we're very hetero.
It's a very gay sandbox too.
yeah, it's very
Yes.
gay.
And then my sandbox is full of a lot of movies and top fives.
You played with movies. We played with dildos and gay porn.
I
Yeah.
guess so. Hey, well, different upbringings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Noli, would you watch anything, do anything this week? What's up?
I don't really want to get into that. I want to get more into Star Wars and the current state of 2 directors were just fired from the Han Solo project midway in the middle of shooting.
Oh my God, I know.
What do you
That
guys
is
What do you
so
guys feel
crazy.
about that?
Well, in reality, I expected it. When they originally were put on as directors, I remember thinking, and this was the same for The Flash, when they were put on as writers for the Flash script and potentially as directors, it didn't gel with me. That doesn't seem to be their style or the type of films that they want to go after or films that would work well with them. I kind of was never expecting them to get into production, and they finally got into production. So I was like, okay, I guess they are making this movie. And then this happened, and I was like, okay, expected.
Right. I mean, do you think they were going for a comedic tone?
I honestly don't know what they're going for, but I can tell you every single one of their films I've seen, not one of them would match up with Star Wars or Han Solo in general.
They didn't write it though. Lawrence Kasdan wrote it right with his son.
Yes, and apparently it's somewhat of Lawrence and Kathleen Kennedy are having issue with Chris and Phil.
Because they're
Yeah, so, like-
by the book people. Like they write a script, they shoot the script. Phil Lord, Chris Miller, they're used to, the comedy, the Will Ferrell style or the Judd Apatow style of improving and making shit up. I think the quote was something that like they were making Han Solo into a comic character, like a jokey character as opposed to cool, and they didn't like it.
I could see
Wait,
that.
you heard that, or are you speculating?
It was on IO9 today, I think. Yeah.
Oh wow! See, I just figured it as much as like it seems to me the way we're going with everything from like Star Wars to DC to maybe not so much DC anymore, but Star Wars and what seems like with DC up to Wonder Woman at least, and Marvel, and especially what seems like Marvel probably moving forward, is that we're going to just get movies that are not by artists. When it comes to these big franchises, we're just going to get movies that are made by producers and studio execs. And if you hire artists or people who consider themselves artists, they're either they will gel with whoever's in control or they won't, and they'll just be kicked off, and that'll continue. And sometimes it'll be less obvious of a kickoff like Gareth Edwards, or maybe something that's like, as Felk has mentioned in the past, maybe something that's a little bit disguised, like say maybe Zack Snyder. But definitely in other situations like this, it's pretty clear. Like they were fired off this.
Yeah,
stuff.
they didn't disguise this. I mean, with Zack Snyder, like it's hard to know, but they didn't really seem to disguise this too much. It seems like a straight up, you're gonzies.
Yeah, and like I told you guys before, I don't want this movie. I never wanted a Han Solo movie because I feel like Han Solo is Harrison Ford, and anyone else playing that character it doesn't sit well with me. But when they were hired, I was actually excited because I like their stuff. I like what they did with 21 Jump Street. I like what they did with the Lego Movie, and other stuff that they've done. So since they were on board, I was like, okay, let's see what they got. And now that they're gone, I know it's just going to be, they're going to bring in someone, and it's going to be a run-of-the-mill Star Wars film, and I don't want that.
And that someone will likely be Ron Howard, as the current theories are, or Joe Johnston, who created Boba Fett.
My thing is, why don't you just, what's JJ doing? I think he's available.
But
JJ
he's doing
shouldn't touch
something.
this. JJ should stay away from this.
Yeah, I don't know how a director comes in when they only have a few weeks left and like takes over their story and all the decisions they made.
Well,
just
think
goes
about
along
this
with it.
too. I mean, think about the cast. I mean, they have to now suddenly like deal with a whole new director.
I think Woody Harrelson signed up for this just because of the directors.
Oh wow,
That's
that
possible.
would be shit.
Did they do Zombieland?
No.
They did not. No.
That guy didn't do too much afterwards.
He did Gangsterland or Gangster Squad and something else, right? That was like just a total bomb.
I haven't
he's
seen
doing-
Gangster Squad.
He's doing Venom now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which
Which
is
is part of
which-
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't think so.
No, that's what Amy Pascal said in an interview.
No, it
Sony's
is.
saying that. Marvel's saying it's not.
Well,
Marvel's
Marvel
not saying
was
it's
sitting
not.
right next to her. Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal were in the same interview, and she said that, and Kevin Feige didn't dispute it. He did look a little bit shocked. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the reason why they haven't wanted to say Venom yet is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they don't want to say Spider-Man gets the black suit in Avengers Infinity War, and because of that, that's how they're going to be able to tie Venom into his own movie. You'll just see how Eddie Brock gets the suit.
I didn't know that was a theory. Is that a theory?
That's my theory. I made that up.
That's a great theory, man. Like with the cosmic stuff happening, that's actually a really good theory.
I mean, think about it. You've seen Tom Holland behind-the-scenes footage already in mocap suits. Now, granted, they could do Spidey in as a mocap suit, but why would you? Because they've already have a suit built out, like an actual practical suit. So
they'll definitely mocap. They'll definitely mocap the red and blue one, though.
But mocap isn't for like the big action sequences, right? That's just a digital character.
Wasn't he almost entirely?
Mocap is going to be for like when Spidey's walking around. Well, if he's walking around in a suit that they need to digitally do, it's probably the black suit.
It might be. I mean, the only problem is that people associate that suit with the worst existing Spider-Man movie. I think the official name.
How dare you?
Yeah,
how fucking dare you?
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, the official name for the universe is the Sony Marvel universe, or Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like its own little offshoot of the Sony-controlled versions.
If that's the case, then it has a number, because even the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it has a actual Earth number. It's not Earth 616, which is the general Marvel universe, or Universe 616, I think it's called, actually. But the MCU actually has a number, too, so that would mean that if Sony was a separate universe, then it would be a separate number as well.
Is Netflix like a separate number, too?
Probably not, because I think it's technically part of the same universe.
I think the Sony Marvel one is too. It's just a matter of like we can't bring everything
I don't think
over.
Netflix is a different universe than the MCU is.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
I don't think it is either. I think it's all one universe. I don't think that there's an alt universe. I mean, there are alternative universes because of Doctor Strange, but I think the Sony stuff is still in the same MCU universe. It's just on a legal level, just like the Netflix characters can't really go to the movies. And the movie people won't be going to the Netflix shows. Same with Sony. Like they're keeping it one way, or kind of like they did with the ABC shows, where the movie stuff can affect the ABC shows, but the ABC shows can't affect the MCU. Same way, like with the MCU characters, like Tony Stark can go to the Sony universe, but the Sony characters, like Venom, won't be showing up in an MCU non-Sony movie.
Right, and that makes sense. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, Noli, what I was explaining, and just so for Cool Boy Nation to understand, in case they don't know what the hell I was just talking about numbers. So, Marvel, like DC, has multiple universes, and DC calls them, infinite universes or infinity and infinite Earth and all that stuff, and Marvel calls them multiverses. And Marvel, the main Marvel universe, the comic universe, the main one that everyone grew up with, is called Marvel Earth 616. And so the cinematic universe is actually referred to as Earth 199999. So that would be Earth. What was that? 100,999. 199,999.
I'm gonna cut you off. I don't think we should spend much time on this.
No, we shouldn't. Okay,
it's fine.
You're already confusing me, and I'm a geek.
The DC TV universe has like 3 universes as is. It actually has way more than that.
So yeah, it's just the concept of having so many multiverses. They just added a number to them, and they don't give them real numbers like Earth 1, 2, 3, 4. They give them random numbers. So like the main Marvel, when anyone's talking about Marvel comics, they're talking usually about 616, or if they're talking about MCUs, they're talking about Marvel 1999999, whatever it is.
That is what DC like literally does, though, is that like there's infinite fucking versions of Earth, but everything seems to happen on Earth 1 or Earth 2
or Earth 3.
Yeah, Earth 3 occasionally.
Yeah.
Well, I am sad I asked that question.
Don't ask.
Yeah. Keep my mouth fucking shut, just like my asshole.
So I think in general,
clenched.
How do we get to all this shit about?
Who knows anymore?
Sony.
Star Wars.
Okay,
we're talking about Star Wars.
I think. So for me, I personally think that's what's going on, but I also think in general, this just all ties back to the idea that these are movies. I think especially for Marvel after Phase 3, I think it's just going to be simply going to be big franchises done by producers and studio execs, and that's it. And it's not going to be creative anymore. And if we're lucky, maybe DC allows creative if DC doesn't fuck over its own creative, which it has been doing for quite a, or at least for Suicide Squad, it seems like they fucked over their own creative, and they definitely fucked over their own creative on Batman v Superman for the theatrical version, because that extended edition is incredible.
That's only how many episodes have we done?
18. This is 18.
18. I think you've mentioned
released
the extended version of Batman vs Superman 18 times. Even on the spoiler cast for Guardians of the Galaxy, Alien, and Wonder Woman, you still brought it up.
And you still haven't watched
it up.
One day.
Nola, you should watch it, and we should do like a commentary while we watch it, and you can just talk about how much you hate it.
It could happen.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, so that sucks for the Phil Lord and Chris Miller. One of the things I heard about what they're doing is that they're maybe already moving on to be the directors of the next Flash movie. And for that, I say, don't fucking do it.
No.
Just fucking do your own movie. Do something different. Do something original. Don't do the Lego Movie 2. You didn't do Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. That was great. Do Jump Street 23 or do something original. That's what I think they need to do. And they should alternate like they've been doing for the most part. Do your PG-13 or your PG, then do your R. Do your PG, then your R. So they're in R's. They should just go do their R right now.
Hard R.
I think they would make a fucking hard R. And those Jump Streets are practically hard R's.
They are R's, aren't they?
They seem like the perfect people to do a Deadpool
R,
movie.
But they are not hard R.
No, you can make
like
them
a lot of titties. That's about
you can
it.
make them PG-13, yeah.
Don't you
can make
think
them PG-13? Yeah.
they're perfect for a Deadpool movie?
Absolutely perfect for a Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
That's locked in.
They
got a director.
No, I know, but maybe Deadpool 3. But still, that's maybe the only thing I would want them to handle. Maybe is Deadpool that you referenced. That sounds like a great idea, but I wouldn't want them on that really. I like them on smaller franchises or starting small franchises.
You forget the other movie that they were going to make, which is the Jump Street Men in Black crossover movie.
No, they weren't going to direct that. They were
weren't?
never directing it. They were going to only, I think, produce it or have like an executive producing role in it, which is nothing.
Well, I really want to see that and think it's a great idea.
I do. I would love to see that, honestly.
That's a train wreck.
Yeah. But
that's not going to be Will Smith, and it wouldn't be Channing Tatum. It would be Jonah Hill. It wouldn't be Tommy Lee Jones. So for me, that's shit. But if it was Will Smith, if it was Tommy Lee Jones, if it was Channing Tatum, if it was Jonah Hill, count me in. Ticket is already bought. Well, this is where we're going to have to do spoilers, and we're going to have to put a spoiler warning before this because I want to talk about John Wick Chapter 2. Finally watched it. We talked about last week how I was going to watch it, and I'm a man of my word. So,
spoilers.
John Wick Chapter 2.
Spoilers for John Wick Chapter 2. Skip to 37 minutes and 4 seconds to avoid. It's time for
spoilers. Sizzle. Sizzles. Let's talk about John Wick for 5 minutes. We don't need to talk that long about it.
There's not that much to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say. But all right. Okay, so all right. Well, so John Wick Chapter 2. I gotta say, John Wick for me, the first one is 5 out of 5 boys, hands down. I love the first movie. I want to know kind of from you guys' perspective, the first film, John Wick. What do you guys give? How many boys?
4 out of 5, maybe.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 sounds right. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a simple movie that's fun to watch.
So 4 boys for Noli and 3.5 to 4 boys for Felk.
Yeah, it's very good. It's also just very lightweight. There's not a lot of substance. The 6 would be.
And that's what I love about it. Okay, so I love John Wick because it is lightweight. I love it like I like Fury Road is lightweight. Like I like that it's just this really simple plot and it's just something to get the character going and then you just follow this guy on a revenge tour. Anyways, I love it. I thought the action in John Wick was unprecedented, like action and shots where they would hold the shot and show you him hit multiple guys. It was like, just almost literally the opposite of Taken. Anyways, so John Wick Chapter 2. Now, I give this one 4 out of 5 boys. What did you guys give it?
I'll give this one like 3.5 out of 5 boys.
Yeah, same. In fact, I'll give John Wick 1 4 so I can give 2 3.5. 3.5 is still good to me.
Yeah, it was good. I just at some point when he was killing people, my brain shut off and I was like, man, I've been watching a lot of killing. And
me, go ahead. You can finish.
No, it just became the same as the first movie where they weren't really doing anything new anymore. It was just the same long takes that are still cool and the same headshots, which are still cool. But, it just wasn't as good to me, even though I still liked it. It was great.
It was the same director, same writer, same stunt team, and I think for the most part. For me, the opening action sequence when he went to go get his car back with Peter Stormare.
I was kind of confused about that. Did
I like
get his car back in the first one?
No, that was practically the end of the first one. Like when he gets the dog and then walks away with the dog, maybe less than a day later or maybe even hours later, he goes and gets his car back. So I mean, that's pretty. Like this movie's like right on top of the first John Wick.
Yeah, it's like a Karate Kid 2 kind of thing, where like the very last scene immediately picks it right back up. I thought it was like the next scene, basically.
That's what I thought too, exactly. Yeah. So I love that when he gets the car. I love when he gets his car. I thought the whole action sequence was incredible. I know that for a fact Keanu Reeves did at least 2 of those stunts. He actually did drive his car. He actually drove head on into one car, and he did actually do the reverse accident when he backs into the dude.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was actually Keanu driving, and he said I think when he drove head on into the other car, he said the steering wheel actually, because the force of the impact actually fell off into his hands. So that was crazy. I mean, they had Keanu Reeves doing these actual car stunts, and I thought the car stunts looked great. When he fell out of the car,
that was awesome.
That was awesome. It was totally fake. It had to have been fake, but super awesome. And then also I wanted to mention that like I'm just gonna talk about a couple things I thought were off the bat that I thought were like really good just points of the movie. I don't like Common in general.
No, like, me neither.
I don't like him.
How is he still employed?
I don't know. But I really loved when he and Keanu's character were taking silent shots at each other.
Oh, that was awesome.
Up above and down below. And they're just like, cool. Pop, 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 pop. Right in front of all these people. That was incredible.
I feel like Common's like the go-to super cool black guy right now that like there's better black actors, but like they're like, I don't know who to get. Well, he's kind of cool. Like, let's just get him. But like, he's not cool.
He's not cool.
Common is available is probably a common phrase in Hollywood when they need somebody.
We need a black actor who kind of we think oozes cool, but he doesn't really ooze cool.
Not to me, he doesn't.
He's the reason.
I thought that scene was fucking sick though.
That was good.
My memory's a little hazy because I saw it in theaters like opening weekend, and I remember specific scenes, but nothing cool with Common. Common's the reason I stopped watching Hell on Wheels, the Western, because everyone acts like everyone else is in a Western, and he acts like he's just fucking Common. Like he's a.
I can't even get into Hell on Wheels. I couldn't. Like I wouldn't even start it. It was like one of those AMC like just bait shows where it's like, come on, it's like our other good content, but it isn't.
It isn't. And Common's a big factor in that.
I really liked that Common and Keanu sequence with the taking shots at each other, and I thought it was really powerful for being like something so simple and something I would never have expected. And then I really loved the hit, what sets up Common and Keanu's rivalry in the film. I love the way they did the hit, and apparently this hit, the way they did it originally, they had it written a different way, where I guess Keanu's character John actually does kill her. I loved how, and this is what Keanu came to them, the director and the writers with and everything. But Keanu was like, no, she needs to be like Marcus from the last movie, where she wants to take her life on her own terms. And so I thought that was awesome. But apparently Keanu also was the one who decided that getting naked and getting in the bathtub was the right call. So I just gotta love Keanu for that.
That was his suggestion.
That was his suggestion. Yeah, to make her naked and get in the bathtub and slit her wrists.
I wish they would have showed her naked because she had a good bod. She looked great. And then I love also how after that he holds her hand while she's dying. But then to fulfill the contract, he shoots her in the head. Like I love that she dies and then he still shoots her in the head. And I remember thinking when I was watching that scene, I'm like, well, he's still gonna shoot her in the head, right? And then he does it, and I was like, oh, of course he does. That's John Wick. So that was awesome. And then the pencil sequence. After the hit is, or the contract is on John Wick for $7 million.
I love that.
And he kills they set up earlier, like, he's like, oh yeah, he killed these dudes.
What kind of guy does that?
Yeah, what kind of guy does that with pencils or whatever? And then later it shows him take 2 guys out with a pencil. Fucking amazing. What a great setup. What a great setup to later, like, just drop that on the audience.
Yeah.
Be like, here's a pencil scene.
So yeah, I like the movie. I didn't think it was as good as the first one because it repeated a lot of the same stuff. But fuck, did my dick get hard at that ending when they said it pretty much the next film will be John Wick versus the fucking world.
Very Empire ending.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. The ending for me was like, oh, so John Wick has an hour to get out of New York, where he's surrounded currently by like assassins and hitmen ready to get him.
And he's currently pretty much like mortally wounded.
Yeah, but he has an hour. So I think John Wick 3 is going to be like, not practically real time, but close with him.
Like a fucking chase movie?
Yeah, with him like getting out of New York. You know, or getting to his car. Like, my guess is like maybe the first third is him getting out of New York. Then he finally gets to John Leguizamo, and John Leguizamo has his car. And he's working on it, but he's not technically allowed to help him anymore. But he does help him. Then they end up like, you know, shooting John Leguizamo. But who knows? Maybe in the process of trying to get out of New York, maybe the High Council shows up, and they just stop him from getting out of New York. And then, and this is okay. This is actually this is from Keanu Reeves himself. This is something he hypothetically said in an interview with Empire. He said, "What if the High Council shows up and the Continental disagrees with them, and if John Wick was the catalyst in the end that ends up getting these two factions of Hitman world after each other, and this whole like World War Hitman goes down." That was Keanu's theory. I thought that was awesome.
I mean, I'll see the third one. Yeah, I'll see the third one pretty much guaranteed. So
yeah,
I don't know. Sure. I don't know what I want to see happen. I just know Keanu killing thousands of people now sounds amazing. Even though I thought it was repetitive, I still want more.
Yeah, I have to say it was repetitive, even because that whole mirror sequence at the end, I felt like wasn't as powerful as it should have been, because you've seen so many more sequences prior to that in that movie alone.
Yeah, I think once he got back to New York and the killing was still going, I was kind of like, damn, man, how many guys is this going to kill? And I think the body count's got to be like in 200 range.
I think the body count's like 170
high
in the second film, and it's like 80 or 90 in the first film. I can look it up real quick. John Wick body count. And then the other thing I want to ask you guys questions about is the marker. So what exactly is the marker again? Like, that was a little confusing to me. That's like
it's like a vow, a promise you give to somebody, and then if they ever need you, they can get you out of retirement, and you have to fulfill that marker.
There's a lot about that world that I do not understand, that does not logically really make sense. The economy of the Hitman, they use those fucking coins that are like, a coin can be like a stay at a hotel for a night, or it can be one drink, or it can be enough to assassinate someone. Like, a lot of it doesn't really make sense. It's more just about the style and the coolness. Also, I remember Lawrence Fishburne's in it because it's like a Matrix reunion. I don't remember what his character is or does at all. Like,
okay, so the body count.
He gives John Wick a gun.
Yeah, he does. He gives him a gun with 7 bullets for $7 million. So the body count is John Wick 1 is 84 people that John Wick killed, and in John Wick 2, he kills 128 people.
Okay.
Which feels about right, but it does seem like he may have killed more people than that. And then, so I highly recommend people should listen to the podcast of spoiler cast of Empire. They are really, really good, and they get great interviews with directors in the cast. And they did an interview with the director as well. And the director sounds like a fucking huge douche. I mean, the guy makes a good movie, but he sounds like the biggest fucking douche ever.
Well, that's because he worked with the Wachowskis.
Oh my God, this guy's full of himself. I mean, he tells these like Empire journalists about like classical music and classical art in general, and like talks down to them about it. And it's like, oh, do you know Vivaldi, Four Seasons? I mean, you probably don't. It's just like, what? Oh my God.
Wouldn't everybody recognize that little ditty?
I think everybody would recognize that little ditty if they heard it, but it's not like one of those things that like you need to talk down to somebody in the middle of their interview.
No, I saw them on something for Screen Junkies, and I was just like, yeah, these two, I think, directors for the first one, but only maybe one of them got credited. It's like a weird DGA thing. I didn't fully understand. They're both like stunt coordinators, second unit directors.
Yeah, one moved on to Deadpool 2, and one's doing the John Wick franchise now.
Yep.
They both seem douchey to me, so I'm not sure which one.
Moved on to Deadpool 2 is also the one that's doing Atomic Blonde, right?
I have no interest in that movie.
Maybe. I have interest in that. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
I think you're right about that.
So the director in the interview with Empire, just a couple things he touched upon before we move on, is he said that he wants to world build some more, and I love the way he does world building. One of the things he even explained when they asked about what's the how much is each coin, like what's the actual monetary value of a coin. And he said, "Oh, I'm never going to explain that. Just like you never explain what a dollar is."
Oh, that's disgusting.
Just show a dollar. So he's never going to explain how much a coin is worth in that world.
Oh, but what he did say is dick move.
Yeah, but he says they never explain dollars in films. So that's his reasoning. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, you kind of like that's
you don't have to explain dollars in films. They're real.
Exactly, but for him, exactly, this world's real as well. So anyways, he says he's going to expand the universe about 25%, which means we're going to see about 25% more of the universe, new things that we haven't seen. My guess is this is going to be all underworld stuff where John has to utilize the options that aren't the Continental Hotel. And that's where the 25% shows up. And then he's going to delve deeper into the world we already do know, about 50%. So I guess that means we're going to get probably more into the High Council, more into the Continental, and maybe their dealings, I guess. That's probably what he's referring to.
I love how he has the percentages all figured out.
He did. He had his percentages figured out. He's very douchey. And then the other thing was that apparently they're talking about a TV show. And the idea for the TV show for John Wick TV show would be you would see the 5 years before his retirement and the 5 years after his retirement. And that would be enough for roughly 10 seasons of the show, or if they wanted to do
God
like
damn it.
a year
That
at a time.
sounds so dumb.
Why do we need fucking 10 seasons? A TV show should be able to be told in 30 episodes. 3 seasons, no more. I don't need fucking 10 years of that shit.
I don't agree with
It
that.
doesn't have
But
to be 10 years. I mean, that's more like speculation, if anything, I guess.
How do you not agree with that? Do you need to see
because there's a ton of TV shows that I love that are way more than 3 seasons.
But
or
imagine
30
if they
episodes.
just imagine even Game of Thrones, which is great. It's on like 7th season now. Imagine if they just condensed it down to 3. You would still have something good and powerful. I'm not saying all shows should do it. Game of Thrones is very rich, lots of backstory, but there's lots of shows that just go on forever where like you could have done this whole story in 3 seasons. I don't need those like 4 episodes a year that just suck.
There's like maybe like 2 episodes of Breaking Bad that don't need to be there. Every other episode stands alone. It's such a good episode. So
Well, that season, what they went 5 seasons kind of, and it's short.
51 episodes.
Yeah, 5 seasons roughly, yeah.
They knew when to quit. You have all these other shows that go on way too long. It's like, dude, just House of Cards. What are you doing? This story should have been told a long time ago.
Well, I think that's a totally different tangent, but I think House of Cards did finish their story at the end of the 2nd season. I think that was the end of House of Cards. I think with season 3, season 4, and season 5, I haven't finished season 5 yet. But what I think season 3, season 4, season 5 they're a 3 season arc of one story, and I will like to see how season 5 ends. I'd like to finish it just to be able to see if I'm accurate. If season 5 does not end, however, an arc of some sort, then that will be very frustrating. But I can't imagine it not ending an arc considering where it's going so far.
Right. I guess my main complaint is like shows like Orange is the New Black is like on its like 7th season or 6 seasons now. She went to fucking prison for a year.
Yeah, but Orange is the New Black is not even about her anymore. She's like a side character now. Now it's all like all the other characters' story.
I've never seen that show. You guys seriously watch Orange is the New Black?
I do watch it.
I've never seen it. I don't.
Like,
something about prison films.
I can't recommend it. I don't know why I'm still watching it. It's like
I haven't watched the new season. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I don't like prison stories. Like that's not a big thing for me. I mean, I love Shawshank. Don't get me wrong. And there's some other movies like Green Mile and other things I love too. But like for the most part, like Oz, I liked what I saw in Oz, but I could never watch Oz. I couldn't like watch.
This isn't Oz. Oz is disturbing, whereas Orange is the New Black is more. Women don't rape each other, so it's not as dark.
Why not?
Because they don't have dicks.
It's a good show. It just is. It's overstayed its welcome now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
anyway,
yeah. So I mean, I think the question that you should be asking, Noli, more so than 10 seasons or not of John Wick is why the fuck is there a need for a John Wick TV show?
Well, that was my question. There isn't.
Yeah, there's no need for the show.
It's not. It's barely enough content for a movie. The movies are buoyed by its action scenes and the somewhat unique way those action scenes are executed. The story, the world building. There's not. Yeah, there's not enough for a show.
For me, it's great because it's like 30% of this great movie is this story building and this world building, right? But you cannot translate that to TV show because a TV show you need 80 to 90% of your show to be storytelling and world building, not like 30% of it. And you can't have your show be 70% action sequences. It's too expensive for a TV show.
Well, sort of, because the John Wick was not an expensive movie, and like they kind of figure out a way to do action sequences cool on a relatively sane budget. And I'll throw in a little shout out to a show that I fucking love, which is Banshee on Cinemax. Have you ever heard of it?
Yep.
You haven't watched it though, right?
No, but know of it, yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, watch like the first like 3 episodes if you ever get a chance. It's some of the fucking coolest action I've ever seen in a TV show, and some of the coolest characters.
I saw one episode, and I did see one episode, and it was great.
The first one, or just a random?
Of the first season. No, it was not the first episode. It was like a random episode, maybe episode 4 or 5, something like that.
It's a really cool
was
show.
Watching it, and it was great. I mean, I liked what I saw, and maybe want to see it, but it's on a list I have of other shows I need to watch. Yeah. I haven't even seen Sons of Anarchy and other shit like that yet.
No, don't.
So, I mean, there's a lot of TV.
Not a fan of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, good. Okay, well then I don't need to go over that then. And then Noli, I think this is one thing you'd appreciate about John Wick. That I loved when I was at least watching the credits. I am one of those people that watch credits to movies that I know don't have Easter eggs at the end. I like watching credits. Was the visual effects team for this movie was small, and I was blown away by that. And then I was like listening once again, not to plug another podcast, but the Empire podcast, and they were hypothesizing the same thing, that they think that. They were hypothesizing that the reason that there was such a small visual effects team was that they only were adding in bloods, like shots, squibs, digital squibs, maybe correcting some of the mirror sequences where the camera may have been in the shot, and then maybe like a couple scene decorations, like digital scene decorations. Other than that, it was all in camera stunt work. I love that. I'm so happy that the series does that.
I don't remember any big visual effects shot in the movie. I don't think it's very
simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Yeah, I think the biggest visual effects shot is Keanu falling out of the car when he gets hit.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. It looked really good.
Looked great. I think it was in-camera editing, or not in-camera editing, but I think it was an in-camera shot, and I think that was just through editing, like a trick editing shot, where they just like pan back and he's sitting down on the ground instead. But yeah, I mean, like I thought that was awesome. I just want more.
Yeah, that's why I love John Wick. It doesn't have that shot where like he drops to the ground in slow-mo and fires a bullet, and the camera follows the bullet and goes through like 10 people's bodies inside the organs and then flies out and hits a dude in the head. It doesn't do that. It's just very simple.
Yeah, and I like how they kind of set up. I mean, they definitely set up very clearly like big boss hitmen.
What's up?
Like, you know, like there's the Ruby Rose chick who's like clearly like the one of the bosses he has to take out. But they also set up this other silent hit goon for Sorrentino or whatever his name was, the Italian guy, who is like this blonde flat top with a black beard. And so eventually gets into a fight with John Wick near the end of the mirror sequence, and John Wick puts him in like a headlock with his legs. I think it's like a triangle choke or something like that. And then some guy starts shooting down from above, and he just takes his gun out, shoots the guy above, and then he just shoots the dude in the head, and then he's gone. And this is like a guy that's like been standing behind Ruby Rose the whole movie, also looking menacing. And I just love how he's out like that, like boom, done, headshot, gone. And I just love how they did headshots. Like I thought all the stuntmen just looked great, like the way they would fall down dead, just dead. It was awesome.
So how is the bottle challenge going?
It's going.
Where you at, Ballard?
I'm about. Oh, you can't really see it very well. I got too much reflection on my screen. I am about halfway down my bottle already.
Uh-oh. I think someone's beating you.
Oh, Jesus. Shit. You got a third left to go. I'm going to have to step it up. I'm going to step it up right now.
Oh, God.
I've never seen a guy pound wine.
Yeah, wine is not for chugging.
Yeah, come
on.
Or
taking shots of.
It burns too much.
All right, there we go. Now I'm at Noli level. Yeah, all right, but I have a whole glass. What's your glass at, Noli, right now?
I forgot Ballard's got a very competitive edge. Yeah. Glass is like that.
All right, so I got a full glass. So we're working different glasses, but we have current bottle length.
All right. Well, don't really know how to segue, but moving on.
I wrote you a segue.
Oh, yeah. Now let's get into something that isn't a touchy subject. LGBTTQQIAAP, which is a new term that has been brought to us by the internet.
Report preliminary findings. Not worried about her. We gotta keep him gagged.
Cool Boy Nation, pop your cocks and drop your tops.
It might be interesting and important for you to know.
It's time for our Cool Boy show topic.
Hey, I like that.
Spoilers.
No sweat.
So cool.
Music, and this is Showboy topic. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for
everyone is gay.
LGBTTQQIAAP.
Quick update on my background here, because some of the fun of this was going to be the fact that I'm kind of going to be explaining a lot of this to Nolan, because based on some of the texts, didn't really understand what any of those letters meant. And I am from Texas, which is a red state, and moved out to California. You guys are native Californians. Blue state
Cali,
people, where gays are prominent.
Yeah, and I get the LGBTQ, but you've now added like 10 letters onto it, and so far I did a quick Google, I couldn't find anything, so I'm calling bullshit on this. But
oh, really? I have links.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. I'm ready to hear it.
It is definitely not. Okay, I didn't add them.
I know you didn't.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, the point of doing this was to kind of test the waters and see if we can do slightly more controversial stuff than just what's happening in Star Wars or MCU. You know, it's kind of, can we do something a little bit more political, but not too political?
Just a little.
So, yeah, we've already done some fabulous episodes about Close Encounters of the Gay Kind, monster cocks. We've been testing these waters for a while. Butt stuff. Well,
do it.
That was heterosexual butt stuff. But
no.
Says you.
Do it. Dance for me. No.
Is that?
Now lie in the bed and close your eyes.
Are we talking about Jamie Lee Curtis? Because she doesn't actually fall under any. Well, no, she does fall under the eye, I believe.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
A little bit about the subject matter is how it became LGBTTQQIAAP, which is now the current vernacular, how this became such a huge issue in America that is constantly being talked about. And I do mean constantly talked about. Like,
it's because everyone's got a fucking finger up their ass right now, and they're all upset about everything, and no one can fucking just chill the fuck out like we did in the 80s.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, what are your perspectives? Because I have a pretty thoughtful analysis on how this became something that's a constant talking point. But what is
my hot take on shit? Is that I think people can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
No. Just on how it became such an issue, how it became such a big.
Oh, I just think everybody's got a fucking stick up their ass now. I just think it's a big. Nobody can't be offended now, and it's just ridiculous. Whatever happened to taking a joke or fucking just living with life. But at the same time, I understand there's a movement that needs to happen, and there actually needs to be an understanding and education that comes with it, and that we all kind of need to learn to be handling and tolerant of people. And I think tolerance is what needs to be taught. But I think it just sucks that everybody creates a watchdog for everything, and everyone's always pissed off about everything now. Everyone has to apologize for everything they fucking do.
I very much agree with that perspective. It is part of it's clickbait. Part of it is the fact that this is just something that immediately guarantees hits, which is why we're doing it as a episode, or a big part of why we're doing it as an episode is because it's something. Yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Is because it is something that draws a lot of attention. But like, it's not just the Gawker sites or the former Gawker sites that bring it up in every third article, regardless of what they're talking about. They'll manage to throw in trans rights or something like that into their argument. It's also because it needs to be a political issue. Because, and I'm going to get political here for a quick second, is that. At the end of his presidency, Obama, looking for a legacy, as all presidencies do when they're exiting, is to have some kind of change, some kind of mark of change in American law that can be associated with the presidency. And he, of course, pushed the Supreme Court to finally make some kind of ruling that cements gay marriage as something that is protected and legal in all states. Now, yes, now that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But the ramification is that was almost a gift to the right, because that had been a wedge issue tearing young conservatives away from the establishment for decades. Because, you talk to anybody under 30, or even younger, or even older, like 35, who's a Republican in California or any of those other states, explain your political views immediately. If you try to explain your political views from that perspective, and like, I believe in small government, I believe in a limited federal government, I believe in limited government regulations. Oh, well, why do you hate gay people? I don't. I support gay marriage, but you're still voting for people who don't. So it was always what's called a wedge issue, and by removing that wedge issue, a prominent Republican there who supported gay marriage from the beginning was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, of course. So. By removing that wedge issue, they immediately took that off the ballot for something that could be discussed in debates. And by doing that, the far left needed something to make an issue. And in a fumbled grope, they latched on to trans bathroom rights as the next big thing, as though that could take the place of marriage equality. And it can't. Trans bathroom rights is a much more complicated and nuanced issue that is much harder in terms of enforcement, in terms of
you know
how
what
it
I think
actually
about
gets
bathroom
implicated.
rights?
Yeah.
I think I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
That's what I'm like.
Because like for me, it's like I like to piss outside. You know what I mean? I like to take a piss outside. When I had a bathroom growing up, I had 2 bathrooms in the house. I chose to go piss on the fence. I don't know if that makes me a lower creature than the rest of the humanity, but I like to piss on the fucking fence every once in a while.
I think you're onto something, because when I told my wife how I was going to potty train my son, I'm saying we're going outside, we're opening out our dicks, and we are peeing on some trees, some bushes, anything we can outside.
Totally, absolutely.
Sounds simple
Are you potty
to me.
training? Are you potty training right now?
Not quite.
Dude, okay, recommendation. Start as early as you can because it takes a long time.
Wonderful. Back to trans bathrooms.
Yeah, well, no, that's so let's move on from trans bathrooms then. I'm not really sure how the outdoors, as far as I understand, are accessible to all people, and
it should be.
But it is technically illegal to urinate outside in America, which is
Andy. You know Andy from the last a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah,
he actually was arrested on a New Year's Eve for pissing on the wall.
Oh, you could get on the fucking
of a bathroom.
You can get on Megan's Law for that.
He was in a bathroom, but he was pissing on the wall with a bunch of other guys, and they grabbed him because he was smiling and laughing his ass off about it, and so they grabbed him, threw him in a drunk tank. And that was his New Year's Eve. That's how he spent midnight.
Love you, Andy.
Christ, that is.
Hey, Andy, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know if you wanted me to put that on the podcast. Sorry, big guy.
Just get back to me on whether that.
Andy, if you didn't like that I put that on the podcast, why don't you reach out to us and send us a fucking dong like you promised?
So all right. So now
still waiting.
Moving on then. It's now been changed. We always knew the issue referred to as LBG. It was LBG originally. So we're going to establish who are they, because a lot of times we're going to be saying, we've said like they changed it. Now it's LBGT. They changed it again. Now it's LBGTQ. Who are they? They, as far as I can tell, refers to GLAAD. GLAAD stands for the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, which is kind of a problem because it immediately only includes the two words there, G and L. So they wanted to add a couple. So yeah, basically this is a back and forth between their Twitter followers and that kind of community that they are kind of the shepherds of, and they being an organization that's about 100 members strong. Technically a non-government media monitoring group, but it's really functions more as a super PAC at this point. So that's basically what happened. They added the T for the trans community. Then they added the Q, which is a whole separate thing. Letters just kept getting added, and it became kind of a joke when it got past 6 letters. We're now at LGBTTQQIAAP. Let's do the quiz. Let's get into the quiz area.
Before we even get into that, can we all agree the Q is fucking bullshit?
Yes. Well, there's 2 Qs.
Questioning though, like, you're gay or you're not.
Oh, you researched it. I was gonna hope that you were gonna be like, I don't know what that Q means. You've already looked up what each one of them means.
No. I already knew what question means. I didn't have to look that one up.
Okay.
But
Facebook, right? Doesn't Facebook have shit about that or something?
Oh yes.
Just for Cool Boy Nation's understanding, I do not have Facebook. I do not have Twitter. I do not have Instagram. So I am not up to date on all of these like things that you have under the gender selection of your drop down menu, or your fucking like, are you in a relationship? I'm questioning.
Questioning to me is like, I just want to draw attention to myself.
Well, let's go. Well, that's the second Q. So maybe we should go down the list here. Well, okay. So the first, most people can probably guess what the first 3 letters are: lesbian, gay, and bisexual, LGB.
What?
Now, yeah, but
I thought it was lion, gorilla, and bison.
Bison, the Street Fighter character. That's an animal. I don't know why I immediately went to Street Fighter.
I love bisons. Like, honestly, I like eating like bison over cow. If I have the option to get a bison burger, bison all the way. It's a better meat. It's leaner.
Well, you don't want to eat a bisexual because that
Cool Boy Nation, I want you to know right now, we're all staring at Nolan's dick right now.
Yeah, this is very distracting.
It was very distracting. Hey, Nolan, there you go.
I'm back.
Put your knee down. That's a hard pose. I'm getting too hard of a pose for you right now. It's deep.
So as you can probably
You're so deep right now in me, Nolan.
As you can probably
stop tickling me.
As you can probably
Nolan, don't tickle me.
As you can probably guess, the L and B are pretty much irrelevant. Gay means all gay people, so gay includes both lesbians and bisexuals. So already you're adding a word there. It's kind of not fair that gay women get their own word, lesbians, whereas gay men have to share gay with all gay people.
That is true. I never thought about that.
You know, okay, so back in like 5th grade, I remember I got to see this video for sex ed, and they were telling also in this video for sex ed where they showed like, you know, the erection and all that stuff. They also were talking about like homosexuals, and so they would bring up homosexuals like that, and they would say, you know, a woman homosexual is called a lesbian, and a man homosexual is called a gay man. And I remember being like, a gay man? That's what he gets. He doesn't get his own classy name. He gets just gay man.
Yep.
So yeah, Felk, gay man.
I think men get
Misandry.
homosexual. I don't think you call a woman a homosexual.
No, lesbians are homosexuals. That's definitely homosexual.
Yeah,
is a blanket term.
homosexual is it's like if you have sex with the same sex. And
have you ever
heterosexual
known,
if you
known a
sex with
gay
different
woman
sex.
and you're like, that's a homosexual? No, you think of a man, you're like, that's a homosexual. Well, the woman, you're always like, oh, it's a lesbian.
I disagree.
I disagree.
If I hear homosexual, I think of a human being.
Yeah, it means same sexual.
Totally,
you guys are better than me then. I always thought of a gay man.
Nolan, you're so unwoke.
Well, then we yes.
Wake
woke.
up.
I fucking hate that term. Woke and problematic are like newspeak from fucking 1984.
Well, I just want to point out for Cool Boy Nation, I just love how you have 3 straight males telling you or mansplaining you LGBTQQIAAP 2SAA or LGBTTQQIAAP.
Or quilt bag. We're gonna get into all 3 of those later.
We're none of those 11 letters. But hey, we'll mansplain to you anyways.
Yeah. So sorry. Now we get into the T's, the TT part. It used to just be one T, which stood for trans, but then they decided.
Yeah, well, what is it now? Wait, it's more than trans now?
It's 2 T's. There's 2 T's. One's for transgender, and one is for transsexual. Do you guys know the difference between transgender and transsexual?
No.
Okay.
I think I do.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not sure.
God, this is really specific then, is it?
I'm not sure which is which, but I would assume one is one that just identifies himself as a woman, even if there might be a man, and then the other one is one that actually went through with the procedure.
Or is looking to or has interest in or plans to get it. Transgender has nothing to do. Not all transgender people can or will take the steps for reassignment surgery. Transgender identity is not dependent upon physical appearance or medical procedures. So transgender people are basically men with penises who get tit implants and then want to be called women, which, I mean, is fine on a social level, but incredibly difficult and creates a whole huge can of worms when they try to enforce it as legal status, meaning they're legally considered a woman.
Are you referring to my best friend Caitlin?
No, Caitlin is transsexual. She's actually undergone reassignment surgery.
I'm definitely confused then.
Yes.
Transsexuals are the people who actually intend to transition, and it is part of their identity. Transsexuals are those who typically suffer from gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a mental disorder, and it's actually
Is that a letter?
No, it's not a letter. That's actually just
why not?
Well, we'll get into the fact that it is a mental disorder, and actually that's a controversial statement, but it's supposed to be. They want it to be considered one. You think it'd be the opposite, but nope. So moving forward,
goddamn fucking list of letters. Jesus Christ!
Oh, we haven't even gotten into quilt bag.
Oh my God! You know what? I want a letter for everything in the fucking world. Like, why not? Like, let's just have 20.
You get one letter. You get S
letters on there. And that's it. 26 letters. We'll start from A. We'll go to Z. We'll print it out. Everything, every time everyone goes anywhere. You have to say, well, don't talk about him. He's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, well, okay, you're going to go through the whole alphabet.
Fucking give me a break.
Well, that's a problem because there's 26 letters, but of course some of these are duplicates. And part of why this is a joke meme is because it's not even sure if LGBTTQQIAAP was originally a troll trying to get people to be like, yeah, but what about the people who are questioning, and what about some of the other letters? And awesome. But people took it literally.
Those are trolls those are legit trolls. I am proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate what you do and
doing
continue trolling.
Great service for America, because now they're fucked basically. So the 2 Q's, QQ, guessing you can guess one of those is queer. Now, why does
queer? You fucking queer.
Queer.
Fucking queer.
Yeah, used to be an insult. Now it's an official term. Why is queer separate than from?
You know what? I always thought of queer before I thought of it as a quote unquote insult. I thought of queer as a musical lyric because I would hear it in so many songs. And, and like you would even hear gay and queer in old movies that did not mean what queer and gay today.
Queer literally means weird.
Yeah, queer, literally means weird, and gay literally means happy.
I was quite a queer
like things
person
in, like,
for a while.
Old films from like the 1950s, and you have some like dude singing, be like, "I'm so gay for her.
We'll have
I'm
a gay old time."
Her. Yeah, and it's just like
we'll
you're gay for
together.
her. That makes no sense.
I'll stick my
today's,
dick
like,
in
world.
your ass. It didn't mean that, right?
No,
it didn't mean that at all. No.
So our
and
answer
it'd be like, I'm in a very weird state. I'm in a queer state, and it wasn't mean like he was like all of a sudden gay. It just meant like he was like nervous in a weird situation. He did some drugs.
My dick is in your ass. It's normal.
All right, boys. Yeah. You guys are failing the pop quiz. Why is
put
queer
you in a dick state?
Why is queer separate?
My dick's in your ass state.
Well, I was in the understanding that queer, you can't call someone queer now, right? But it's still in the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of those things like you can say it if you got the club card.
No, what does it mean? Why is queer its own separate letter, and what does it mean? I know the answer, the official given answer.
I don't know.
So what if someone's queer?
Wait. Are we queer?
No.
Okay, good.
Whew. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Queer means genderqueer.
Oh, no.
What is genderqueer?
I would imagine that means you're questioning.
No, questioning is the next cue. Genderqueer refers. Go ahead.
It means you like your gender.
No, genderqueer means that you're not transitioning. If you're a woman, you identify as a woman, but maybe you wear baseball caps, dress like a man, kind of act a little bit mannish. Genderqueer means you take on traits of a gender that is not.
Genderqueer just means like tomboys.
No, because tomboys aren't necessarily lesbian. To be genderqueer, I believe you have to be somewhere on one of those other fucking letters. So genderqueer means you are cis, meaning you accept the gender you were assigned at birth, but you exhibit and present traits from a different gender, but do not
Where's the S?
identify
the S
as that gender
on this group.
Oh, we're not.
There's no S.
We're not. No S, no C.
Why is there no straight?
Because we don't fucking
H
matter.
for hetero.
Because straight white males are the devil now. We're all fucking Nazis.
We just mansplain.
Yes, and we mansplain, we manspread.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, we have patriarchy, we have heteronormativity. We are the devil. And every time one of us goes to jail, Jezebel celebrates.
For someone that hates Gawker's media so much, you reference those websites a lot.
So moving on to the second cue. Now, this is the one that threw you for a loop, Dylan, which is questioning, which means that you don't actually have to be any of these. You just might have to be like, well, maybe I want to get my dick sucked from a guy. And you got a Q now to represent you. That's questioning.
Yep, I'm a Q then. I'm in this group. I want the benefits.
Are you really a Q?
I don't think you're really a Q.
Well, yeah, I find this one above all the others. I don't know what the rest entail, but this one seems bullshit to me.
It's kind of a cheat, and the second A is also the biggest.
Like, is this
cheat.
one for like 13-year-old boys who aren't sure yet? Like, I fucking play with Barbies and I dance on the weekends. I suck cock occasionally. I'm not sure I'm gay.
Yeah, I like to do the ballet class, and I love sucking dick, but I'm not sure yet.
The thread that led to that second Q being in there is at a fucking gay rights conference hosted by GLAAD, where it was about trans people, and a mother was telling a story about her, I think, 4-year-old son who says, "But mommy, I'm a girl. I'm not a boy. I'm a girl." And she's like, "How more clear can I be? Clearly, it's like, hey, it's a 4-year-old." That's
a little early.
Yeah, it's a little early to put him on hormone therapy, which she was fucking talking about, because that's actually a thing.
Constitute
ridiculous.
a thought process to be like, hey, let's push this agenda on my child.
Yeah.
Like, let your kid naturally come to that conclusion. If they come to that conclusion on their own when they come to that conclusion.
I agree.
Don't fucking be like, I'm pretty sure my boy's a son. My son is a daughter. So let's just be like, he's a girl.
Everyone who was a tomboy or every boy who fucking, played with a Barbie once now gets like pushed like, well, do you feel like a girl on the inside? And
you know what
like
they're ruining?
5 and they fucking say yes sometimes.
You know what the ruining, Felk? What the ruining is the step-by-step syndrome, okay? That's what I call that really fucking tomboyish daughter that was like the young daughter, little daughter from Step by Step, right? Patrick Duffy's daughter, but who ended up becoming like so hot and so fucking smoking by the end of the series. That's why boys need to have those girls that are tomboys, and those girls that are tomboys need to be tomboys so that they get to that point where they're like, boom, look how fucking hot and sexy I've been this whole time. But you didn't realize it because I had that hat on.
Well,
and
now
it was backwards and I wore overalls all the time.
Getting sexual reassignment surgery at 16 because we're pushing agendas more important than pushing
individual
personal
they don't have that time to become
health.
all super hot and sexy when they're 18 then.
Nope, not anymore. That's what is kind of at risk when we talk about the dangers of pushing this shit too far. But
I
that's
love that I got to live in the motherfucking 80s and got to experience 80s movies in the 80s, 80s music in the 80s. I love that. I'm happy. I am proud to have that experience because I feel like this whole goddamn fucking digital social world is out of control.
So now we're at I, which is intersexed, which is Jamie Lee Curtis. Possibly. There's a rumor. So the I was added for people very, very...
Wait, is I hermaphrodite?
I is... Well, no. Hermaphrodite means you have 2 fully functioning sex organs.
I don't see an H. I don't see an S or an H.
H would be under intersex. Intersex is a broader umbrella term, which can mean anybody with abnormal-ish genitals who didn't have them corrected at birth.
Did you just say abnormal?
I did.
How dare you?
Meaning that they have a little bit of a vagina, but they also have a big old penis, or they have a clit that's big enough to actually be functioning as a penis because it has muscle tissue in it, but also has a vagina. People who are between the sexes
just to get
naturally.
Legit, just to get legit for a second, on those people that have clits so large that they're practically penises, but they still got those vaginas. Let's be honest, they have it the best.
Maybe it's a little more extreme than the female bodybuilders.
Little penis. They're fucking rubbing their little clit penis all over the fucking pelvic region, right? While they're fucking riding on top of some fucking, let's assume, monster cock stud, right? They're getting it. They're getting the best.
Intersex basically refers to 0.003% of the population. So it gets their own letter, even though they're basically such a rarity that it's, you might as well put U for unicorn. Now the 2 A's. Asexual. Asexual is pretty self-explanatory. Asexuals also are about 0.1 or 0.01% of the population.
How does being asexual get thrown into being gay?
It doesn't, because they don't have any rights issues. The only rights issues that asexuals could possibly complain about is the fact that in general, people who get married get huge tax breaks, and an asexual is never going to get married. So other than destroying the institution of marriage altogether, there's no way to not discriminate against asexuals. There's no asexual bars to protest outside of. There's no asexual marriage to oppose. There's nothing to get mad at asexuals for. So they really don't need to be on there.
Hey,
it's just...
I actually, if I didn't like biscuits so much, I would have been asexual in a heartbeat.
You can't choose to be asexual. You're born that way.
Well, then I would have chosen to be born in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Asexual.
So you wouldn't want to have sex at all if you didn't. Well,
yeah, I could easily monk it up. I could be like a a priest or whatever, just monk it up and just be like, yeah, whatever. No, I could. There's a part of me.
That's kind of cheating the point of that.
I think I could find that in me. I could easily find celibacy in me if I needed it. I think I have that in me, but
not celibacy. I mean, asexual is just you have no desire and you're born that way. Whereas being a priest or a monk or a Jedi,
I look at asexual as more as like someone who's just like can masturbate the rest of their life.
No, asexual people don't masturbate. Asexual people do not masturbate.
Bullshit.
They have no sexual desires.
They're fucking liars. No, they're fucking liars. Every asexual motherfucker who goes, I don't masturbate, I don't believe in it because I'm asexual. Fuck you.
No, nothing gives them erections. Nothing turns them on.
You're double clicking the mouse or you're fucking stroking the rod, but you know you're doing one of those two. You know it, you little fucking lying rat bastard. Just admit it. Just admit it.
All right. Well, the first controversial statement comes from Ballard. Asexuals are liars.
You definitely masturbate or have masturbated and you like it. Don't hate it. We all like it. It's fun. Asexual.
Okay.
So what?
Not fully understanding what asexual means, I think. It is a very, 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 very small percentage of the population. Now comes the
Who
second
don't like
A.
to masturbate? Is that what they are essentially? Priests who don't like to masturbate but fuck little boys?
I think
Asexuals?
No,
Ballard's
that's
just
not
attacking
asexuals.
people that claim they don't masturbate.
By the way,
That's
my
what he's
bottle
really
is
attacking.
almost done. Just
Oh, okay, that explains it. So the next A is the most bullshit letter on the list. You know what the second A stands for?
Worse than questioning.
Worse than questioning. The second A stands for ally. That's
Oh,
right.
God.
It means you don't have any of those fucking traits. You're just a friend. You're just
That's
somebody
us.
who supports it. No,
We're in it.
well,
What?
no.
Wait,
no,
we're
no.
allies?
I don't think I qualify by many people's perspective. I certainly would think I do by my own. I supported gay marriage as a quote unquote Republican in Texas for God knows how many years, but that's not good enough. You gotta align with a much stricter political spectrum. You have to pretty much be a socialist to be an ally at this point.
Okay, wait. If S and H aren't on this list of letters, and that second A, we're talking about the second A, that is ally, dude, I would love to be that second A. I'm happy that I'm represented on this list of letters because I need a list of letters to be represented by. And boom, I'm an A. I'm a second A, but I'm an A. Take it. I take it.
Okay.
How many more letters do we have?
Unfortunately,
Nolan.
Just one.
Just one letter left.
Apparently, you don't know the initialism very well. The key thing about ally is you don't get to decide that you're an ally. They do. You have to be given approval. You have to have you have to have someone who like vouch for you.
Wait, what is approval? To be like friends with gay people?
No.
And I approved.
No, I think it's even more complicated than that. Ally basically makes all the other letters irrelevant because it just says everybody. And finally, the P, which is pansexual. Now, do you know the difference between...
Why the fuck? If I can't be a goddamn ally, then I want to be an H or an S on this list. That's all I want.
Then the list is not an LGBTQ, all the other letters.
What does the S stand for Ballard?
I think straight.
Sexual.
Yeah. So do you know the difference between pansexual? So pansexual.
What do I want the H to be?
I don't know.
Hermaphrodite.
But that's covered under I.
They need to be on there too.
A pansexual is someone who's attracted to anything despite the race, the gender, whether it's an alien or a fucking coffee table.
So yes, so pansexual is a controversial a concept because pansexual is so ill-defined because pansexual would...
Pansexual? You mean fucking goats?
Possibly. Yeah.
Children.
Possibly. That's the problem with pansexual. Is that
Pan is a goat, right?
What?
Pan is a goat.
No, goats
What are you talking about?
What are you fucking talking about?
Pan is like a goat god or some shit. Pan's Labyrinth? Pan? I thought that's what that meant.
No, that's not. No, pan means all. Like as in Pangea. Pan means all encompassing in Latin.
Wait, you mean fucking everything?
Ballard's off the rails.
Right? Yeah, okay, Ballard's
I
wrong.
missed this.
This is the wrong episode to do the wine challenge.
The bottle challenge. Fellas.
Bottle challenge.
Bottle challenge. And by the way, folks, I might be winning.
I think you are.
I slowed down a bit just because I knew this would go like probably another hour, and I don't want to be that guy.
That's fine. We need that guy.
That guy has entered the room, and he is fulfilling the role of Ballard this evening.
Yeah, no, we definitely
I'm grateful for it.
We need it. This episode needs it.
Oh shit, Nolan! Final
to be the fucking,
pour.
I am such a fucking anti-SJW fucking hater of all this shit, and yet I'm the one who has to be the like informative guy. So I'm glad that we have the bottle challenge going on.
Guys, this wine, when I smell it, it has notes of
chocolate.
I and second A, but most importantly, when I taste it, it tastes like
P.
I get hints of wine.
Okay, well, moving on from P, because P took us to dark territory, as it does.
Wait. Seriously, pansexuals are people who are literally just like, dude, I'll fuck it, whatever.
Yep, pretty much. So
Miley Cyrus.
She
no,
identifies.
I think she's cleaned up.
Miley Cyrus identifies as
pan.
Miley Cyrus identifies as pansexual.
No, I think she's cleaned up recently. She's like probably only fucks pussy now or dick or something now only or pan.
Well, some people just say that pan means that rather than bisexual, it means that you would fuck any of the 37 and currently recognized made up genders. There's 2 genders, by the way. So Alternatively, there's also let's no more weights.
Would pansexuals fuck Tim Sylvia?
Who's Tim Sylvia?
Who's that?
Tito Ortiz, Forrest Griffin.
Why are you bringing up UFC fighters?
Yeah,
because I'm looking at a poster of them, and I'm just thinking that like nobody would want to fuck any of them.
Okay. I know we're not like driving buses right now, but maybe we should not drink as much. I mean, the King Cobra's hitting me pretty hard, and I'm a fucking
I'll
lightweight.
tell you.
I definitely am impressed,
though.
Though.
Wine into a glass and drinking it is not hitting me that hard at all. So I'm feeling peachy keen and ready to dive.
No, I'm impressed. I half a bottle of wine gets me.
Have we started the show
incoherent.
topic yet? By any way?
Yes, we're well. Into
Okay,
it.
good. Are we into it?
Yes, we're well into it.
Wait, this is not after dark material for the last hour.
No,
Ballard, look at this. Ballard, empty.
Jesus Christ.
Empty bottle Nolan.
All right.
Nolan and Ballard have entered the empty bottle challenge.
God,
At this point, becomes the glass challenge. Who finishes their glass first? Cheers, cheers, and
Pound
down it, down
Pound
it.
I'll let I hate watching a guy pound wine.
I can't. It's like halfway.
No,
through
it was
and I
really
couldn't.
unpleasant. All right. So alternative to all those initials, there's also LGBTQQIAAP2SAA. So 2S, that means literally the number 2, not even a letter, and then S.
What does that mean?
Two-spirit. Two-spirit.
What the fuck is two-spirit?
Two-spirited is,
oh my God.
is the Native American term.
Is it warm, Felk? Is it warm?
No, two-spirited is the Native American term for
Felk,
warm.
it's warm.
Ooh,
it's spirit.
It's warm.
Ooh, it's warm.
Okay. All right. Now I get that you're referencing Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within.
Ooh, it's warm, baby.
God, that fucking movie. All right. Two-spirited.
You know, okay.
Is
and
a,
just for clarification, the only reason Donald Sutherland's character in that film has to say,
want
"Ooh,
to
it's
talk
warm."
about
no, please.
It's because
moving on. We are
it's
not talking about
blue,
Final Fantasy, The Spirits
because
Within.
it's blue glowing energy, and the audience is assuming it's cold, so he has to go, "Ooh, it's warm."
That's the last.
And then the
no.
audience goes, "Okay," and that's the end of the movie. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for that movie from 1990 or 2000.
Ooh, it's warm.
Okay, so the 2S means
That's what
two-spirit.
girls say when they got cummed on for the first time.
2S.
Ooh, it's warm.
This is a disaster.
2S means second spirited
Bottle
or two-spirited,
challenge.
which is all right. Fuck it. I'm gonna piss.
I love bottle challenges.
I gotta pee.
Like, seriously, we got to do bottle challenges more often. This is the best game I've ever played.
I'm not sure about that, but I like it. I think you're doing a great job.
Listeners, if this is your first episode of the Cool Boys podcast, we're sorry.
But honestly, we drink every episode. There's nothing different here. I've done the bottle challenge before. I think Caged Up was my first bottle challenge on my own.
I feel like this is the drunkest I've seen you, but also the subject matter.
I don't think I did the last bottle challenge with the aid of.
Yeah. So the two.
This is the new Ballard for sure.
Two-spirited is a Native American term for gay. So it's being added in there just as a respect to the indigenous people.
Wait, what?
For the fact, to the indigenous people who already had a term for homosexual well before
Native
that
American.
was something. Yeah, Native Americans well before it was something that we talked about. So there's no reason for that to be its own separate thing. But there's a movement to also add second-spirited. There's also a movement to add otherkin. Do you know what otherkins are?
Oh my God, no.
Otherkins are people who identify as a species outside of their own species. And I can't tell if that's trolling or if that's legitimate. But the catch is that it's legitimate, because if you were to ask people, gay people in the 80s or 90s, what do you think is going to be the fucking next big thing after gay rights, gay marriage? It's going to be trans rights. Trans bathroom rights is going to be the next issue. They'd be like, fuck no, that's not. Are you kidding me? They're weirdos. So when you joke about otherkin not being like an actual thing that's going to be next, I think it's next. And otherkin means that you identify as a species outside of your own species. There's a prominent community in Germany of girls and boys who think that they're cats and want to live as cats and want other people to respect them as cats. There's people who identify as horses and dogs and so forth.
Time out. Ballard just completed the bottle challenge. He's done with his bottle.
I still expect Nolan to be done with his bottle.
No, you win because I'm right here. This is what I have left, which is
Finish
like three.
it. You still got to finish it.
I don't want to pound. I want to enjoy this for the next hour.
No, you enjoy it. You enjoy it.
We're going to go over this for another hour.
If you take away anything from this episode other than information on the on trans community, is that don't pound wine. Nothing good comes from it.
Yeah. And the
it
last,
hurts.
whatever, hour, almost 2 hours, under 2 hours, you can see the effects of wine right here.
It's not a pleasant experience to do.
Yeah. And what's this one? Oh, he's going back into the McFlurry with the Kahlua in it. Yeah. This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, I have a McFlurry because I didn't have anything ready for alcohol earlier, and so I just decided to pour a bunch of Sabrosa into my McFlurry.
What was it called?
Sabrosa.
One more time.
Sabrosa, and it's a Mexican Kahlua. I mean,
Kahlua is Mexican. So the key thing is that because of all these bullshit letters that have been added, they've actually now the movement is to just bring it back to LGBT plus, which means all the others. And it's like that's basically
nice.
like at the end
that's really nice.
Spoilers for the end of Mad Men, but basically it's like when they tried to when it became Sterling Cooper, Draper, Price, Cutler, Gleason, and Shaw, and they just brought it back to being Sterling Cooper and partners, and all the people at Sterling Cooper are like, this is our fucking death, like our death note or death award.
I like that.
Is that
LGBT?
No, it's basically the way of saying like all the P's, the I's, you're plus. You're just a plus symbol now. But it didn't start as LBGT. It started as LBG. They added the T in the fucking late 90s.
T makes sense.
Yeah, but not really, because T doesn't have anything to do, as it's a big part, with your sexuality. Trans doesn't mean just because you're trans doesn't mean you're gay or straight. It can
you white heteros are all the same.
No, I'm actually getting the information from GLAAD. So unfortunately, you're fucked no matter what you do, and now the far left is fucking eating themselves, and it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, this is a mess. It's definitely a mess, and
it's absolute mess.
It's unfortunate because I'm very pro.
Gay.
I'm very pro gay.
Pro gay rights. There are 3 letters, 1 syllable, and you're done. That's all you gotta say. Gay rights. You can't fucking say LGBTTQQIAAP2SAA rights. That doesn't.
I don't
work
even
on
like.
chance.
Honestly, I don't even like saying that. For me, it's not. It's the idea of having to get specific is ridiculous to me. For me, it's one thing: tolerant. And you know what? I'm tolerant of a lot of shit and almost everything.
Yeah.
And make me a weak, quote unquote, human being, or it may make me, a tolerant human being. But I am tolerant, and so whatever. I'm tolerant.
Yeah.
I'm tolerant. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. It's like, okay, for instance, my mother has some, gay friends, and she was inviting them over for dinner. And for some reason, in case I came over, she had to alert me that she was having her gay friends over. And I said, Mom, I don't have to know they're gay. Just let me know they're your friends. It doesn't matter what they are or what they're doing in their private lives that affects me. I'm okay with whatever the fuck they're doing. I will meet them for who they are. If they're assholes, they're assholes. If they're lovely, they're lovely. But I'm not going to base anything off of their lifestyle.
Oh, no, that's not okay. All trans people are fucking angel saints, and you can't say anything bad about them. And every single one who comes out must be considered a hero and praised in all ways. Otherwise, you're a fucking bigot, because that's the current and that's not how people work. People can be assholes regardless of what they are.
Hey, Mom, I'm inviting my friends Ballard and Felk over for dinner. They're questioning.
Yeah. Big old.
They're P, Mom. They're pansexual. So let's not talk about babies
or gay sex
or horses.
So I guess, all right. So try and keep it on topic here. And tolerant in my sense is I've always supported gay marriage. I do not support trans bathroom rights, because the issue is not that is people.
I support. You know what I think we need? We all need a
finish.
Stall, and we all need to shit and piss in the same fucking stall.
It's not going to happen.
I want to see some biscuit when I'm pissing and shitting in stalls.
No, you don't.
No, I don't want to see that. No, I don't.
So the issue isn't, as the people who are in support of trans bathroom rights always try to frame it as like, oh, you're calling trans people rapists. You're talking about how they're going to assault women in bathrooms. That's not the fucking issue. We're not saying that that's what's going to happen. We're saying that rapists are going to exploit this incredibly easy perverts.
I agree.
People who want to record women pissing and shitting, and people who just want to walk into fucking put a a fucking wig on and put a dress on, and they can walk into the girls' locker room in the YMCA and watch fucking girls change all day, and there's no way they can enforce that, call the law, because otherwise you're violating basically what they're trying to pass with trans bathroom rights. It's the issue is that you're protecting people from people who want to exploit an easy loophole, not protecting people from actual people who actually suffer from gender dysphoria.
I agree, but there's still going to be a women's bathroom and there's still going to be a men's bathroom.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's a transgender bathroom. So any little person that wants to use a transgender bathroom,
little people only? No, seriously,
little people.
Only little people.
Nope, that's not what they want. That's not what they're asking for. They're not asking for a separate bathroom for people who are transitioning.
Of course,
the catch is that people who are saying they're male to female want to be able to go into a women's restroom, or more importantly, a women's locker room to change, even though they have a penis, because they could be transgender. And that's where the catch is that they do want to keep the two separate bathrooms, and they want to use the one with the gender they identify with. And that's where you just fucking break down any kind of protection in having a separate locker room for separate genders, because then you said you can't question that. If you were to question a man walking into the fucking little girl's changing room at the YMCA because he's got a bow in his hair and he's otherwise clearly a man, you're immediately then questioning somebody's dedication, quote unquote, to being trans. And that creates a whole, basically you're opening yourself up to getting sued by every trans person who tries to use the restroom. So it's a massive loophole, and that's why you cannot support it. But people do, and they don't seem to think about the ramifications of what they're actually trying to enforce.
What's happening now? What was happening before all this shit was going down?
People were the same agencies were fighting for gay marriage for forever, and then they had to find a new thing. There's too many packs. They had to switch to something new.
Where has a man who loves to dress as a woman, where's he been going to the bathroom? Has he been going to the male bathroom, or has he been going to the female bathroom?
They've been going into the male restrooms when they need to use restrooms, unless they're what's called passable. Passable means the ones who can actually pass for female, and then no one will question whether or not they are, and then they go into a stall and they pull their dick out and piss.
See, as the only one here who has a daughter, I am incredibly worried, and I agree a lot with what Felk has to say, from just a perspective that what worries me is the idea that if my daughter, whatever age she decides, whatever age she is at the time,
old enough that she's going into locker rooms at like the gym or like a pool or something,
or at the local recreational center, and some creepazoid could pop in there and be like, I like girls. I'm a girl. Into a girl, and like totally falsifies his sexual nature, his gender nature, or whatever they want to call it, whatever we are calling it.
Oh yeah.
That 100% worries me. The only thing I see is kind of something that Nolan brought up.
There's people who would call you a bigot for that opinion.
The idea that we should have like a co-bathroom. I don't know if it needs to be called transsexual bathroom, but maybe we have like male bathrooms, or we have male locker rooms and female locker rooms.
That's not what they want. They find that insulting.
Right, but then there's bathrooms that are localized towards, whomever. Like,
that's not what they're fighting for.
Anybody can use it. There's a stall, there's a urinal, there's a fucking seat to sit in. There isn't.
The solution's been suggested a million times, and they reject it every single time. Trans people want to use the women's restroom.
You know why? Because somebody in there is a creepazoid. Somebody in that is a creepazoid, and they're like, no. I got to get in there with the girls.
You're saying the offensive things I was worried I was going to say. Okay, good.
Oh, shit.
The catch is that people who are transsexual suffer from what's called gender dysphoria. And gender dysphoria is, according to the current DSM, which is like the manual on what is and isn't a fucking mental issue, is a mental disorder, which is a catch because they fought so long to keep homosexuality out of being a mental disorder because there's no treatment, of course, for it. But they do want to consider gender dysphoria a mental disorder, because if it's not, then you don't get insurance companies or government, subsidized insurance to do sexual reassignment surgery. So they have to keep it as a disorder, which is a catch because you're fighting for something that for the longest time LGBT has been trying to avoid, which is saying it's not a mental disorder, there's no cure. I was born this way. There's nothing wrong with me, except if you're transsexual and you want to have your penis split open, inverted, and turn into a vagina that the body constantly is fighting and trying to heal as a open wound, and you have to have surgically spliced open again every, I believe, 2 months or so. So It's kind of a tricky issue. The catches that they always bring up when they're talking about trans rights, the higher suicide rate for transitioning people, the catches that don't mention the fact that the suicide actually spikes after sexual reassignment surgery. Right now, it might be too accessible without enough, proper dealing with the psychology of whether or not somebody actually wants to go through the surgery. It's just a matter of like, now it's a hot meme, hot new surgery, push it as fast as we can.
Wait, how cheap is it? Is it like titty replacement cheap, or is it like not as cheap?
It is about $500,000.
Shit.
Much of which people are trying to push to be taxpayer funded.
How do you feel about that?
I'm against it. I am.
I don't really feel comfortable paying tax wise for that.
No.
I believe in privatizing the entire medical industry.
Yeah.
And
I don't feel like I should pay for anyone's like
single payer.
Whatever.
So
I shouldn't pay for women's titties.
You don't in America, but the UK, you can, if you can prove that it's psychologically detrimental to you, you can get tit implants.
I mean, small titties is always psychologically.
Yeah, that enriches the world around me. That's not too big a deal. So just to clarify, LGBTQIAAP, people often call it an acronym. It's not an acronym. It's an initialism. The difference between an acronym and an initialism is that initialism.
GLAD.
GLAD is an acronym. If you can say it as a word, like OSHA or GLAD, it's an acronym. If you have to say the letters like FBI,
NASA.
or NASA's an acronym. If you say it like FBI or
CIA.
LGBTQIA, it's an initialism. So the catch is that they're trying to make it something because you have to say all those letters. They're trying to come up with a fucking acronym so you can actually just say a word. The catch is that the best they could come up with is quilt bag. And this is actual movement to use quilt bag, so we can start saying quilt bag instead.
Apex.
Quilt bag.
The QU stands for queer and questioning, so it's QU. Intersex, lesbian, transgender, and transsexuals getting 1 T. Bisexual, asexual, and G for gay, and gender queer. So a lot of those using the letters to mean two different things and gives you a lovely quilt bag. I fully support it. I want to start saying, "Oh, those crazy quilt bags," over and over again. Plenty of people don't. GLAD officially does not endorse or like quilt bag because it sounds like a slur. Just sounds like one. So a new thing is that I still use Tinder. You guys probably don't, but Tinder used to say, male, female, other. Other has now been expanded to 37 different gender options. I was going to go through all 37 because I've always heard that story. 37 gender options. There's 37 genders on Tinder. The list, all possible genders that you can be are agender, androgyny, androgynous, bigender, female to male, FTM. I don't know what that stands for. Gender fluid, gender non-conforming. That means you can be anything you want to be. Gender questioning. Gender variant, gender queer, male to female, MTF, neither, nutrios, non-binary, other, pangender, that means you're every gender at once, trans man, trans person, trans woman, trans feminine, transgender, transgender female, transgender male, transgender man, which is separate than transgender male, transgender person, which means you're transitioning but you don't identify as either, transgender woman, trans masculine, which means you're extra butch and transitioning to a man, I guess, transsexual female, transsexual male, transsexual man, transsexual person, transsexual woman, and two-spirited. Those are all 37 genders.
Two-spirit.
Which gender are you? I am.
God, you lost me at straight.
I am. Actually, it's not even on the list. It's just all fucking gay shit. There's not. I was looking for man. Man's not even, man and female. Male and female are not on the fucking list.
That list was ridiculous, dude. That's just ridiculous.
That's Tinder. That's how we fuck now in the 21st century.
Felk, aren't you male to female? Aren't you on the list as male to female?
Maybe that's what it means, is that you're man looking for a woman. I don't know. I'm just man.
What's the difference between female to male and FTM?
Oh, you pulled up the list? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Or MTF, for that matter, for the other one. I don't know what nutrios is.
Yeah, is that just as a variation on female to male or male or male to female, right? I mean, like, what's the point of having MTF or no? I'm not female to male. I'm FTM.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's.
Or I'm not male to female. I'm MTF. I'm letters. All right. Don't address me as a fucking name.
One of the new agendas being pushed, and this is the last thing on our fucking list, is would you date a tranny? If you consider yourself a straight man, would you date a tranny? If the answer is no, you're not supposed to say tranny, by the way. Even though tranny was a term that they came up with, gays came up with in the 80s. Stuff like, they came up with tranny to refer to people transitioning. Oh, those silly trannies. And then tranny got accepted by the community and then rejected for being offensive, even though it's just it's just a shortening of the term that they already use. You can't say you're trans and then not accept the word tranny. It's like it's too similar. The idea is that if you consider yourself straight and an ally, but you wouldn't date someone who's transitioning to female, you're a bigot. And there's numerous YouTube videos, Twitter threads, blog posts that express this opinion. And that's why I am not an ally, apparently, because the answer is no. Although, I mean, when I think about like fucking whatever her name is, Honey Boo Boo's mom, and like fucking Jabba the Hutt women who, are just folds of fat and moles and not at all even remotely resembling a female shape. And then I look at Bailey J, who's the prettiest trans porn star who I saw in person. I'd probably get a blowjob from Bailey J if she was really trying to do it. So maybe that makes me an ally. But the current agenda that if you wouldn't date, I definitely wouldn't date her. You would not date a trans person. You're a bigot. Is really bigoted and bullshit. And positing that to you guys.
If someone told me that I was like gonna hook up with or date or whatever, that they were a trans person, I would back out because I don't want that baggage. Is that a bad thing to say? Like I don't.
You don't want a dick associated. You don't want a dick either. And I don't. I mean, you can look up what fucking vaginas that are made by science look like. They look like open wounds. The science isn't quite there yet.
I have not looked at them.
Look up Kimber James.
You know what? I would just hope they would be like forthcoming with me and let me know that. But like, it
looks wrong, doesn't it?
You know what?
I haven't looked at it yet, but
wait. I think we're getting into talking bodies right now. By the way, guys.
Oh God, are we even gonna do that? Okay.
What's happening? What was wrong with Kimber James' dick to begin with? What's happening there? Why is this so small?
Okay, so what happens is they take a lot of hormone therapy. That's why they get all fucking feminine, and it shrivels the balls, and it fucking causes the dick tissue to start to deteriorate because testosterone goes right to the penis. So when you are deprived of testosterone, you take DHT blockers. Basically, you block your testosterone count, and then that's why also it makes your hair all thick and luxurious like a girl. It makes your fucking mammaries kind of swell up, but they still have to put tit implants so it looks proper because otherwise you just have saggy man tits. And then the dick starts to basically die. If you look up like even Bailey J's dick or Vanity with two eyes, another very popular transport star
on Google. Okay, so there's Bailey J, but then after that, if you type a Z, it really comes up as Bailey Jay-Z.
Okay.
Sorry, that's about all I can contribute at this point with the amount of alcohol in my system. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Kimber James, like I don't.
Yeah, look at it.
Am I being ignorant saying I'm not going to date a transvestite? I just don't think I'd want to.
Like you, I showed you Bailey J, and if she was at a bar hitting on me, obviously.
But I didn't like her.
I kind of like Suicide Girls. I like goth chicks. So I mean, like, yeah.
Did you like John Wick 2? Did you like the operators in John Wick Chapter 2?
Oh yeah, I did. I really did.
All the Suicide Girls.
No, that's rockabilly. That's not goth, but still, I did like it. Yes, and that's rockabilly, which is very similar. It's just more rockabilly is like 50s. It has like the 50s hairdo and 50s dresses. So yes, but like if a girl looking like Bailey J was trying to fucking like blow me at a bar, I'd be gay for not wanting it, I think. Whereas there's fucking women who barely look like humans. So at a certain point, like if what they consider being passable is done well enough, it's
all like, all right.
I wouldn't date one though. If I fucking knew, I would not date one. And that does not make me a bigot.
What are we talking about? I need to make sure
we're moving on.
Wait, I need to make sure the stakes are clear because I haven't given my answer at all yet. So
you would date a transsexual. Are we
talking about crying game where like pants come off and there's still a dick and they're like maybe still gonna happen, like it's for sure gonna happen, but it hasn't happened yet? Or are we talking about there's a pussy there, but doctors created that?
I believe it means with still a penis. Transgender.
Okay. No,
I'm not doing that. It's a hard no.
That's a hard no.
And I'm
it's
sorry.
Would you rather?
Like,
it's just it's more me taking offense to the notion that saying no to that makes you a bigot.
Yeah, no, that's messed up.
I just don't want. I don't want to make out with a dude who's got a dick.
No,
let's be honest. That's it. Like but like now we're talking about he's hot. He's got a pussy though now, and he's a she. That's a different situation.
I would still like to know though that
I would
happened.
still like to know. Yeah, you can't tell me like 2 years in on the second anniversary and you're shoving strawberries in my throat and you're just like, by the way, I was a dude. Like I don't want to know then. Like that's gotta be like 6th or 7th date. I feel like.
That's gotta be that's first date material, man.
It's actually
first date. You can't do that first date. Let's be honest. They have no game if they have to release that information first date.
You're just wasting someone's time. It should be like before the date.
Nah, second.
Also on fucking OkCupid, men who wear dresses should not fucking come up when I search for female. You should be able to search for women, normal women. I know the term is cis, but I'm going to say normal, officially women only, and filter out the fucking, I'm a guy, but I identify as a girl. So I'm not interested in that. That it doesn't make me a fucking bigot, and I don't care if you think I am, frankly.
So to answer your question most accurately, tell me my stakes.
You don't have any stakes. There's no stakes. This isn't a would you rather. This is a point. I've already made the point. We can move on.
Yeah, I think my answer is I don't think so.
The answer should be a hard no. Otherwise, you're a Q. You're questioning.
Wait, you're talking about dude with a dick?
Yeah. If you say yes, that's fine.
No, that's a hard no. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a hard no.
Well, it's not a dude. It's a beautiful woman who has a penis.
If you're a beautiful woman with a penis, it's a hard no for me.
Yes, because you're not a woman. No. You're a fucking man if you got a dick. Sorry.
I don't want it. I don't even want your asshole.
Yeah. Sorry, Jezebel and Kotaku.
I'm sorry. Does that make me a bigot?
The people who write the former Gawker sites
we're gonna think you are. Some listeners on this one.
I hope so.
We also might really gain some listeners. Depends on what we want to cultivate.
Finally, we can now move on to talking about normal people's bodies. Yay!
Ooh. All systems ready. 3, 2, 1.
I saw him out walking with his girl.
Oh.
Talking bodies. Yeah. Talking bodies.
Oh, yeah.
As always, Talking Bodies has us discussing the wonderful world of mega hotties and super babes.
And Cool Boy Nation, to enhance your body experience, strap on that hard drive and whip out that keyboard. And let's go Googling for some bodies and dongs.
Oh, God, the fucking topic is sexy trans. What? I thought we were moving on to like hot shit.
That's why I said we were getting into bodies conversation.
We're still talking about trannies, aren't we?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to anymore.
Yeah, I think we've covered
it. I've covered all.
So I have some links here we can click on to see who would you like to bang. So the 3 top.
None of them.
Fucking trannies you want to bang.
I don't want to click on them.
No, it's good. So Carmen Carrera, he or she looks hot, I guess.
Let's make this very quick.
Ines Rao from France, she looks hot.
No, all these are individual photos. See, that's the thing about trannies. They can fucking pull it off in one still photo, like Gigi Gorgeous and that fucking
Amelia Maltepe from Bangladesh, he or she looks hot. Fiona Solis from the Philippines, he or she looks hot.
Yeah, no.
Yep, that's one list.
They can look convincing in a single image. It's as soon as you start to see them moving around.
You gotta pick your top 3 here. You gotta take your top 3 bodies. There's also from this other list from
oh my god, some of these look like fucking monsters.
So that first list I read off was from OD.com. The second list is gonna be Ranker.com. Tree Chata, Petrot, he or she.
God damn it!
I thought we were gonna talk about women.
Yeah, I'm gonna recuse myself.
All right. I would, if Bailey J was hitting on me, I would have trouble saying no. But ultimately, I know I need to. But I'd probably let her blow me. I just wouldn't want to go below the waist.
Bailey J is number 12 on Ranker.com.
Ranker is wrong. She's the only one on there that even looks like a woman.
I'm putting my microphone down so you guys establish this.
Jane Marie, he or she could look
I'm
hot,
done.
I guess.
I abstain. This is all Ballard from here on out. Ballard, tell me about the men you'd like to fuck.
Laverne Cox, he or
please
she
do.
looks hot.
Ballard is questioning.
Are you questioning?
Caitlyn Jenner's at number 25, by the way, everybody. So
no, she's ugly.
Jesus, no, none of these I wanted to do. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I guess Inez Rao, he could trick me at a bar. Carmen Carrera could trick me at a bar.
No, these are just still photos. You gotta see them in video, and they fucking look like men. You can fake it for one still.
I can't see them in video because I'm not looking. And Fiona Solis, there you go. That's the top 3. I guess those 3.
That's it.
I think those top 3 could trick me at a bar if I was wasted after the bottle challenge.
I agree.
This is the worst episode we've ever done.
Yeah, I think this segment should be cut tonight. I think this episode is going to be
This horrible. Is not going to be cut. Are you kidding me? This whole show is horrible.
This is a horrible episode.
Okay,
I'm sorry, listeners.
So listeners, once again, that was a list that compromised of Indus Rao at 1, Fiona Solis is 2. And
why are we still talking about this? I think I'm leaving.
I think we're done.
I think I'm officially
Carrera as number 3. There you go. There's your list. There's your list of sexy trans. Okay, it's getting to love that dong.
Love that dong. Love that dong. Love that dong.
All right, you heard it, folks. It's love that dong. That means it's time to name 3 celebs and guess who has the biggest dick. And why? And
because
folks, tonight's episode is
not
called
gay enough as it is. This is the gayest episode we've ever done.
Felk, what's tonight's episode of Love That Dong called?
Drag queens?
There it is. Drag queens. Sold that name.
Leslie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on that list tonight are 3 Hollywood big shots. Felk, let's list those big shots.
The 3 that are people who are not drag queens but have played them in or cross-dressed in movies. Dustin Hoffman, I believe you're talking about Tootsie. Robin Williams, I believe we're talking about Mrs. Doubtfire. Both of yeah, and then Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is what? Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything. Yeah. Julie Newmar.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the only one who's actually playing a drag queen. The other 2 are, of course, cross-dressing as a scam to get on a.
But they get off it. Come on, they both like it in the end, and they like it, and they go off on it.
They're just doing it to either further their career or then.
No, there's a point where Robin Williams' character and Tootsie's character in both films end up like being all like, I like this being a woman shit.
I guess.
There's a point in both films where there's
clearly Wesley Snipes is the biggest dick.
Yep.
He's black. Then Robin Williams.
If we're going out of last episode's outhouse.com, is that what it was?
Monstercocks.com.
Well, yeah, outhouse.com where they ranked
it was Outhouse Felk. It was Outhouse Felk.
The average black dick is 10.3 inches. Then Wesley Snipes wins.
Wesley Snipes wins. So there you have it, folks. Out of Wesley Snipes, Robin Williams, and Dustin Hoffman, Bill Paxton wins.
Okay, moving on. Yelling at the wall.
You were a fool.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk.
Yeah, I'll shut you up.
Yelling at the wall.
Haven't you had enough?
Oh, yeah.
Cool Boy Nation, tell us about any of your funny or interesting LGBTTQQIAAP. Also, if you have any questions or more insight into are LGBTTQQIAAP, then let us know.
And obviously, Cool Boy Nation. I should have edited that and had no time. And obviously, Cool Boy Nation, if you have any bodies or dongs, Andy, you promised us a dong shot you would like to mention and throw in the mix for us to review and alert Cool Boy Nation to, please let us know, as we always love seeing those bodies and dongs.
Okay.
And we have nothing in the way of letters, tweets, or comments, so let me just...
That's probably good.
Okay, but I would like to mention those bodies and dongs. And I'd like to mention that we have our YouTube page, of course, so you should check us out on our YouTube page. Just search for us, the Cool Boys Podcast on YouTube. You'll come across us, and you can come and find out any of our Cool Boys reviews, or you can check out any of our shows from Cool Boys Tweet. As well as, I'd like to get some updates on Nolan, your Cool Boys review of The Shower. How's that coming along?
It's coming.
Every episode.
It's coming. All right, it's coming. And Nolan, how's that Cool Boy review for suntan lotion?
It's coming.
Okay, well, soon we'll get a review on suntan lotion. Don't worry, folks. You'll find out if you should be using it or not. And a joint review between Noli and Felk on Miatas. Hey, guys.
I didn't even know we were doing that.
Well, you're doing it now. So, guys, Noli, I'd like you to send Felk all your iPhone footage on Miatas. And, Felk, please, let's do a Cool Boy review on Miatas.
I have one 15-second clip.
That's enough.
Okay.
You slow it down 50%. You got 1 30-second clip.
You're right.
That's editing, baby. 101. All right. And let's jump into that. Would you rather?
Cool Boy Nation, if there is a would you rather you would like us to discuss on a future podcast, please email us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. And now for this episode's Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
For Nolan to fill in.
I don't even want to do this tonight.
What was it going to be?
This episode has exhausted me.
I got one. I
have one.
Okay.
Would you rather? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Think very deeply about this.
I'm typing this in, so.
And I feel like we've already kind of discussed this.
Oh, I'm going to watch this typing. It's going to be hilarious.
Would you rather have sex with a girl who turned into a boy or a boy who turned into a girl?
What?
Is this sexual reassignment surgery?
Yes.
Then I guess boy to turn into a girl. Because otherwise you're dealing with like a... Okay, I don't know if you've looked at photos of when they try to make a fake penis. They use sometimes toe skin or cadaver and or pig skin and stuff. Those are messy. It is it's a lot easier. I mean, it's not easy to turn a penis into a vagina, but it's nigh fucking impossible to create a functioning penis.
I've always wondered about that. Do they get like a hard dick? Like
no.
So they just have a flaccid dick all the
time.
time.
It's a pump mechanism, I think. I'm not super well educated in the subject matter because it's really almost unheard of. It's typically just lesbians who like wearing like men's clothes. They don't really. Some of them identify as male, but that's where the genderqueer thing comes in.
So that's weird. We get a lot of
what's happening here? You're adding in a second one.
We get a lot of males who think they're women and they get like a vagina, but we don't get that many women who think they're men and add a penis.
It's like 10 to 1 basically, yeah. And most don't go through the surgery. Most are just like, I mean, like Ellen DeGeneres is just a lesbian. She likes wearing like kind of like pantsuits. That would nowadays you'd want to call that genderqueer, but she doesn't buy into that shit. She's just a lesbian. So it's like typically they don't bother. It's very rare that a woman who actually like wants to be perceived as a man actually wants to go through kind of surgery to get a fake penis on there. Because also you can just put a strap-on on. A strap-on gives you a big hard cock when you need it.
Well, I would like to propose a different would you rather for this episode. Cool Boy Nation, something a little bit more our speed. Why won't we? Would you rather suck a dick wrapped in a hot dog bun or eat a hot dog out of a pussy?
You were too drunk to type that, weren't you?
Wait, this is something I created a long time ago, right?
Yes, it was. He's pulling out an old Nolan classic.
He's pulling out an old. Okay.
Okay, so you would eat a hot dog out of a pussy. I would actually just do that just to do it.
Yeah, let me hear it again.
But Felk, you would have to kind of like suck it out a little bit.
That's
like
fine.
A blowjob.
What is the pussy? What is the question again? I forgot.
Okay, hang on. Let me reread this. Okay, guys.
Or blowjob.
Okay. Yeah. Would you rather suck a dick wrapped in a hot dog bun with ketchup and mustard and relish, whatever you like, or blow job and eat a hot dog out of a pussy?
You'd eat the hot dog. You're just eating a hot dog out of a pussy. Who cares?
So it's like,
but you have to blow job it too, Felk.
It's a hot dog. It doesn't make me question my sexuality.
Yeah. Why is the first option logical for a straight man?
Because you can have ketchup or mustard or relish, onions. What do you like? Chili, cheese, whatever you want. But you get a bun. You get to eat the bun wrapped around a dick, or you eat a hot dog and suck it like a blowjob out of a pussy.
Makes sense. How drunk was I when I wrote that?
I think it
you
was
would
around
be the one who
3
answers
p.m.
that question.
I think it was around 3 p.m. So hopefully not too drunk.
Yeah, it was midday. You were probably at work.
Yes. You were at work, I think. Yeah. So would you rather, guys? Go, Felk.
Well, obviously pussy.
Felk,
I love hot dogs.
Felk.
I'm probably gonna make a hot dog later.
Stop! Don't answer too soon. Ketchup, mustard, relish, or onions are on the dick with the bun.
There's a dick in it. That's the problem. Isn't the fucking condiments? And to be clear, what I like on a hot dog is mustard, mayonnaise, and relish, and a little salt.
You fucking Nazi bastard.
So would you eat the bun if it was covered in mayonnaise, mustard, relish, and salt?
Without a hot dog on it? I mean, if I was really hungry.
So you would do it.
But with a dick? No, I wouldn't.
Bastard.
No. If there's a dick in it, that's the key part. Like you always miss the forest for the trees. It doesn't matter what's on the fucking hot dog that has a dick in the middle of it.
All right.
The dick's the part that gives me a hard no.
Did I clarify what's on the hot dog out of the vagina? Is it just plain?
It doesn't matter. That's still the option you go with.
Yeah, it's plain. Just pussy juice, I guess. Whatever.
That brings us to the end of tonight's episode. There's new episodes of the Cool Boys Podcast every Monday. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cool Boys Podcast. Email us at thecoolboyspodcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us by searching for the Cool Boys Podcast on YouTube. Rate and review us on iTunes. We're called the Cool Boys Podcast. And if you like, you can donate to us on Patreon and receive additional episodes of Cool Boys After Dark and a Cool Boy shout out on our normal episodes that air every Monday. You can find the Cool Boys Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast.
And I would just like to point out we have a Cool Boy shout out on this episode. And I just want us all on the count of 3 to give a shout out to our new special Cool Boy. 3, 2, 1. Nolan. All right, we nailed it. Yeah, right, we nailed it, guys. And then also I just wanted to explain to Cool Boy Nation what After Dark is and how you should use it and consume it. I think that if you were to go through Patreon and watch After Dark, I would listen to an episode of ours and then go listen to that particular After Dark episode, as the After Dark episodes probably don't make as much sense individually on their own as they would as a companion piece to the episode that they are attached to. So you can kind of see them as deleted scenes or whatever, alternate takes and all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend them. They're great content. And a lot of times you get, as we say, the secrets. And because of that shout out we just mentioned earlier, we have a new Patreon user, and his name is Nolan, and he gave us our other dollar, and we have 3 out of 3. And we have 3 out of $3. So we met our first goal.
Yes.
And I gotta say, guys, for someone who likes meeting goals, well done. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah.
And so let's try to make our next goal. If Cool Boy Nation, any of you guys, I'm counting on you, Steve and Andy, to put forth all $135. If we can make it to $135, that would be amazing. because that would only help and contribute to making sure that we can do this again next year. So that would go towards our SoundCloud account, and anything else would be great. We would put it towards other additional stuff, and if we can find out what it would be, that would be great. Afterwards, we'll figure out what to do with your money.
Yeah.
But first, let's get to $135, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from me.
And that's Byzies from A. Ballard.
Byzies.
Yes, and Cool Boy Nation, if this is your first episode of the Cool Boys Podcast, please listen to the other ones.
That's a good way to end.
They're better.
You are outstanding American boy. You have excelled in all things.
I pump while I dump. Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Get out of here, damn silly. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.